I want to talk next about where the value is in today's market, because I think this is really important. I've had a couple of conversations this week and they talk about property sourcing, and they're struggling to find deals because a property becomes available through an estate agent and the next day it's gone. And I was looking at some of Zoopla's figures and they were saying on the rental side, the average time to rent a property is 15 days. And again, this does not stack up with my personal experience. We're renting properties that aren't even empty yet. I've got a property that doesn't come empty till the 20th of December, and the tenants don't even get here till the 10th of January, and we've actually pre-rented that property from the date that the old tenant moves out on the 20th, even though the new tenant isn't coming in for 20 days. We've actually rented that and we'll be taking on rent because we don't like voids, right? But it's a really nice property as well, but in order for them to secure it, they've paid way over the odds, and they are happy to pay 20 days when they're not even there. So when we're talking about where the value is in today's market, for sure, there's an awful lot of value in renting normal bog standard buy-to-let. There's a lot of value in renting normal bog standard HMO. And when I say bog standard, I mean renting on a monthly basis. I don't mean Airbnb, but Airbnb also appears to be absolutely flying out the door. And the reason for that is down to a pandemic again. All the hotels are full. One of my business coaching clients runs a hotel chain, and just a small one, but it's still a hotel chain. And, they got absolutely rammed through summer. And obviously, as we go to winter, some of those Airbnbs might end up being a little bit more empty because people aren't really going away and staying in holiday type locations because it's winter, okay? Over Christmas, obviously, they tend to get busy as family moves around. But the value in today's market, for me, is in normal, regular buy-to-let. I know you can do serviced accommodation. I know you can do all these different things. But for us, we like tried and tested and simple. And that's where the value is for us. We're cash flow investors. So as a cash flow investor, I'm not looking at making a quick buck. I'm looking at making regular income that's scalable over a period of time that, due to inflation, keeps going up in value, while the value of our properties keep going up in value, and while the value of our mortgages keep going down in value because inflation is eroding it because it's weakening the pound every single time. A pound today is worth 97 pence or 95 pence a year from now, and a year from then it'll be worth 93 pence, and a year from then it'll be worth 89 pence. And so your pound is being deflated all the time. This is why we got into property 23 years ago, because when we're looking at where's the value in today's day, 23 years ago, it was always in long-term single family houses over a long period of time. And obviously HMOs came through, and there's a lot of HMOs out there, and we've got some what we call mini-mos, which are like 4-bed HMOs, but not the 5-bed ones. And we saw value in that too. But for us, bog standard, buy-to-let, awesome place to be, and it will continue to be an awesome place to be. Even if lots of new regulations and legislation comes in for HMOs, and you might have, licensing for normal buy-to-lets, the overall, the legislation isn't going to be so restrictive like Article 4 areas, for example. So an Article 4 means that if you want to have a HMO property in a particular location, you have to make sure that you're actually allowed. And if it's in an Article 4 area, you're not allowed to have a HMO in that area. Now, are they going to stop people renting normal 1-bed, 2-bed, 3-bed properties in an Article 4 area? I find that very hard to believe that that's what will happen. Let me just grab a quick drink. So the value for us is where it's always been. Single family lets. I mean, I guess you could do HMOs now, and if you get your HMO now, before it becomes an Article 4 area, you can still continue to run a HMO. But I think the licensing on HMOs is going to tighten up continually. I think the licenses for HMOs today compared with licenses for HMOs in 10 years' time, I think that's going to be even stricter than it is for today. And so that changes it. And obviously licensing to be a landlord in 10 years, I think that's going to get tightened up as well. So I see a lot of people coming into the marketplace and they're doing like a half-assed job. Doing a half-assed job when you should be running a professional portfolio is not going to be in your best interest over the long term. And so you've got to step up in your duties as a responsible person to start running your portfolio. And, that's what we're continually improving upon. We've just got quotes going in today, actually, for new replacement double glazing windows, new front doors, new kitchens. So we're continuously investing in our property portfolio because we want to increase the value. The value in today's market is by offering a great service, especially as now you're getting, I saw something a couple of days ago, and you can rate your landlord. Like, what a nightmare is that going to be? Open to abuse like you wouldn't believe. How about we have a rate your tenant? So then when a tenant destroys your house, it goes on a document that follows them round wherever they happen to go. And so if we're going to be rating landlords, we should be rating tenants as well. But there's another type of value in today's market, and the value, I think, is by adding further value, and that's by buying something that needs doing up. And yeah, you could do it up and there's some value there, but I actually think in splitting the titles, on a large 4 or 5 bed property, can you split that into 2 separate apartment blocks or 3 separate apartment units? I think that's where the value is going to be. And I also think that if you uplift the quality of furniture and furnishings and kitchen units and bathroom units and showers and so on, I think if you can increase that, you're going to start really reaping the rewards of that through higher rents, because people are going to start paying slightly more for a much nicer place. And also, it's going to enable you to avoid the voids, which is one of the things that kills a landlord's business. Voids always kills a landlord's business.